Hello, welcome to this video for the Ultimate Swing Trader. The Ultimate Swing Trader, as you're going to be learning about from this video and obviously throughout the blog, is a way to trade the Forex and really futures and stock on a swing trading basis where you can sort of get away from trying to be a day trader and having to put so much time into the markets every single day. And as you know, with the Forex in particular, this market being 24 hours a day, obviously 5 days a week, it can be quite frustrating to try and trade this market and do it on a day trade basis. I'm sure a lot of you have become frustrated with that. The Ultimate Swing Trader is designed to be able to be traded within 10 minutes per night. And that's really all it takes, and some nights actually quite a bit quicker than that. Some nights you might take the full 10 minutes. Another real big thing that differentiates the Ultimate Swing Trader from other strategies that you may have been seeing lately is how specific it is. If you're like me, I want to know what my strategy is telling me as far as where to get in, where to get out, where's my stop, where are my targets. I don't want it to be highly subjective, or in particular some of the strategies that have come out recently where there's nothing on the screen at all and you're just basically assuming that when they point to a level that that's where you should get in and out, and it's all very much hypothetical based upon somebody saying, hey, this is where we would go long, this is where we would go short. As you can see with the Ultimate Swing Trader, we're all about being exact and specific. Okay, we've got numbers that plot on the chart here. These are exact numbers. The 134.30, this is our short level. The 135.16, this is where we're going long. And we have the option of going in either direction. We're going to take the first trade to trigger, and we come in once a night. So for instance, right here is where we'd go ahead and we'd be able to place this trade to either go short or to go long. You can kind of see in this case, this trade's going to be going short. You then have targets, 133.45, 132.59, 131.75. Those are what we call our 1, 2, and 3 target. You don't have to scale out. There's several different ways to trade the strategy, but we have very specific money management that tells us when we get to the first target, we go to break even on the stop. We go to the second target, we can take money there and move our stop to this level, and so on. And then of course this being our third target. And we have the same on the long side as well. So again, you can see how specific this is. These indicators are exact, they're specific. It's not going to be leaving anything to chance, and that again is one of the real difference makers. So on this short trade, we're looking for, as you can see, we'll kind of follow it down and see how this did today in today's session. You see right here, and this didn't take long, we actually hit our first profit target. That's an 85 pip drop, and at that point we're really, we're lowering our stop to break even, and we're looking to get to the second level, which is the second line down. You can see the market's moving back and forth, and this is why Forex trading can be so frustrating, especially if you're trying to short-term trade it. You can see this might be driving you crazy trying to day trade. This is probably stopping you out a lot. But on a swing trade basis, no problem, right? We're just able to kind of continue on. We have our exact target, our stops break even, and here we get a touch of our 2x target. So at that point now, that's about a 170 pip move, and we're holding the trade, and here we are actually, going throughout the day. You can see the market's moving back and forth, up and down in a range. Our stop at that point is now at this line where we're locking in some target, and we're looking to get to the third target, which is this 131.75. Now the new trade that came up during the day today, we don't mess with that. We don't bother with it. Remember, we're only trading once per day. So if I see setups that come during the day, we're not trying to be day traders. It doesn't matter. Plus, I'm already on a short trade right now that I want to finish up. And we get this nice move down. And you can see here we're just about at our third target in real time. And if we can hit that, that's going to be worth over 240 pips in just under 24 hours, and very, very structured, right? This is not the type of strategy where you're left to be guessing, trying to interpret, trying to assume where somebody would get in and get out. So let's go ahead and take a look at some other markets here recently. Here's a euro yen, obviously, that we've got, like we said, 85 pips on the first target, 170 on the second, and we're coming in quickly to the third target, which potentially is going to be over 240 pips. Let's see what else we have from today. So here we are looking at the Aussie US, obviously a completely different market than the euro yen. And we could look, and we do, we track every day the pound yen, the pound US, the euro US, the US yen, and even some alternate pairs that I'll show you in a moment here. So we're crossing all the majors, as well as the second tier currency pairs as well. And the methodology works exactly the same way. So I come in at night. You see this little spike up here. I don't have to worry about that spike up because for me that's not a trade because that happened during the day. Remember I said we don't trade during the day. We don't take brand new setups. We're only managing existing trades. Once a night, we We come in, we take a look, we see where we're at, and we see the market at that point last night was right here. So I know that I can go short here, the 0.7973, or if the market was to rally, I could have taken a long back up here to the long side at 0.8053, basically, rounding up a little bit there, so right there. So I see the markets here, I place the trade, and I can actually place my exit orders as well, and let this literally run overnight. Okay, that's one thing that's real nice about it. You can go ahead and place your orders, place your entries. We'll see where we get triggered in. In this case, I was actually sleeping when this got triggered in. We got to get down to 7973. So right here is about, I can't remember if it was this bar, actually probably one more or two more bars. Let's see. So right there is where we actually trigger short. I've got my stop in. I've got my first target, my second target, and even the potential third target down here. And I'm looking at just about an 80 pip move to get to the first target. So let's kind of see how we end up doing here as the market moves down. This is all happening overnight, and in my time zone at this point, I'm just getting up right about now. And all you do when you get up is you go ahead and you see if you've hit any targets, you adjust any stops you need to adjust, and that's it. So right there, I hit my first target. That's good for about an 80 pip drop on the Aussie US. I move my stop to break even on the trailing amount, and now I'm holding for the second target. And let's see if we're going to get that. So here we are actually tonight. We just hit the second target, so that's good for almost 160 pips. Now again, remember, see this new setup that came during the day? We don't worry about that. We ignore that because we're on a short from the prior day. I'm going to finish my current trade before I worry about another trade. And right now, that's where I'm at. I just took the 160 pips, and I can hold for my third target down here, which would be, in this case, about 240 pips. And worst case, if I go for that, is my stops right here, locking in about 80 pips, right? Because remember, I dropped that down to this line once I hit this target. So very specific, very structured. That's kind of really the secret sauce that goes into the ultimate swing trader. It's in a very exacting strategy, and I think you're going to really like that part. There's just too many strategies out there that are either black box, you don't know why you're getting in, why you're getting out, or more often than not, they're highly subjective, and you just don't read the rules the way maybe the developer intended. It's really kind of hard to deny or ignore when you've got the indicators literally showing you entries, targets, and protective stops, giving you exact levels, and it's your job at that point to follow that. You'll know exactly why this setup is where it is. It's all based upon our proprietary indicators that are here, but it's an exact reason, and you always know when a trade is setting up, and from there what to do. So one of the real powerful things to the strategy, let me show you what we call sort of the alternate pairs, and a lot of people don't realize there are some of these other pairs that can be traded. So I'll take you through a couple that are doing very nice. We've got this Aussie Japanese yen trade, a short, that's working from last night as well. And here's our setup. You see again the new setup here. But we're trying to get to 75.28 and then 74.45 for our best target. And look what happened just a little while ago. We spiked down to 74.45, literally exactly to the pip. And that was worth 83 pips times 3. So about 250 pips to the downside just got hit not long ago. I mean, literally probably about an hour ago on that trade from a setup that we had literally just one evening ago, 24 hours ago. And this Aussie yen, and there's a lot of trades like this that are out there in other markets. We can look at, the euro Aussie dollar is another one, and these are what we kind of call these alternate pairs that a lot of people don't realize, besides euro US and pound US and all the popular pairs, that there's some real opportunity in these other markets. And sometimes these markets actually move even better than some of the main pairs. You have to watch spread a little bit, but one of the nice things about it is we typically are going for fairly large targets. So if you've got a 7-8 pip spread when you're going for potentially a 200 pip move, it's really a non-issue. When you're trying to day trade, it becomes a real big issue. So remember, the style of trading is very conducive to this type of trading, the swing trading, where spread doesn't become the issue that it becomes when you day trade. So in future videos here coming up, bookmark the blog for sure, leave comments, ask questions. We'll be in here monitoring those comments and answering your questions. And I'm going to be showing you in the days ahead more Forex trades, more of the major pairs as well. We'll look at Euro US, Pound US, all the favorites. And we'll even get into stock trading, options trading, and even futures trading with the Ultimate Swing Trader. So it's going to be a pretty fun run. So my best advice, come in every day, see the latest videos, the latest results, and we'll teach you a lot more about the Ultimate Swing Trader. Thanks again for joining us, and hope to see you back in again tomorrow. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them right there in the blog.